yet there's a different feel, which I could fit to more of the bass.
Buonasera a tutti e bentornati a Closing Time. Oggi abbiamo una live session veramente speciale con un gruppo che viene direttamente dall'Olanda. Loro sono in My Baby. Welcome to the show, guys. It's a true honor for me to have you here. So I think we should start off with music, and to paraphrase Seasick Steve, we should hear some Get Down Mississippi Mud, yo.
Let's do it.
Church bells, they did sound. Her sin and shame, though they remain, her hope grew stronger still. Through the bars of steel, stars beyond concealed, one to bear the name of a newborn child that couldn't see the light of day. She cried, oh no, she cried, she cried, she cried, oh no, she cried, oh no. But her tears don't wash the sun away. Walked out to the gallows lane. People stood and cursed her name, and in many a poor soul was suffered for less. Repenting to the judge, she confessed. Repenting to the judge, she confessed. For her baby girl, she did put to death. They'll hang her here tomorrow noon, and there they write her name in stone. For a crime she will atone. She will atone. She cried, oh no, she cried, she cried,
Thank you, guys. That was awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, you've been touring really extensively this year, and now you're in Trieste. Was supposed to be a day off, but then we found out another gig.
Yeah.
So,
We always get bored on days off, so we fill it in with gigs on our days off.
yeah, cool. And how is there any particular gig that stand out the most on this tour?
This tour, well, they've actually all been really great. It's maybe a bit of a cliche to say, but we've been to Serbia before, so that was the second time for us. So it was like a bit of a coming back, so coming home. So you've seen a lot of people you've met before, and there's even more people coming, of course, the second time. So there was a really, really nice little tour of 4 gigs in Serbia, and then we went to Croatia, and we'd never been there before. So then it was again, it's quite cool to see like there's people in the room when you've never been before. So we're already very happy then that there's so many people, and so there's this bit of a difference in those, but they were all actually great parties, and
Cool.
Couldn't say one, no.
Okay, so yeah, you have 2 records out so far, and a new EP. The new EP was the re-recording of a song originally edited in the second record, Remedy.
Yeah.
Remedy 2. So how come did you decide to re-record that and to release it again?
Well, since we're constantly like developing our sound, we just really like to because we play them live differently. All the songs, of course, that we recorded that live, you can do whatever with it, and so we always played like a more like a different live version of that song, and so we wanted to record that recording came out even differently than the live one. But since you're always developing, we was just going in the studio and having fun, and then some new track came out, and we decided to release it and put some remixes there as well, and a live version as well. So we made a sort of a Remedy, how do you say that, collection package? Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So talking about the band, you, Kato, and Joost are brother and sister. And so can you remember the first time you decided to? I mean, you played together and you thought that maybe that could work out, and which was your relationship as brother and sister before all this madness started?
Can you remember, Joost?
Did we ever play together?
I don't know. Well, we can't remember not playing together, actually. Like we've grown up in a family with 2 other sisters, and our dad plays a lot of music as well. So he taught us to play a few like different instruments and sing harmonies together. So, well, that went very organically. So we always been playing together. So it's hard to remember a moment where we were not playing together.
Cool, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's a nice way to be siblings together. Yeah. About you, Daniel, you're originally from New Zealand. Your dad is Dutch, and when did you join the band?
Yeah, well, I moved back and forth between New Zealand and Holland in the early 2000s, and I met Joost at a festival, and we hit it off musically, and we're starting to make music together. And he asked me a couple of years after that to join in a band, and I think that was 2005. I went back to Amsterdam, and I got stuck there. I've been stuck ever since. So we've been playing in bands.
Yeah.
Also with Kato since that period. So and then the last 3 years, obviously, my babies has been us 3. So
Nice.
and it's going very well.
Yeah.
Is there any specific band that inspired you the most? I mean, why did you decide to go for this sort of how they call it, shamanic? No. What's the definition they gave you? Like,
I'm very curious where you come up with, because everyone says different.
psychedelic, shamanic folk rock.
I like it.
Yeah.
That fits you pretty well, actually.
It fits. Yeah, like folk music, like of course is folk from all around the world.
Yeah, but have you been listening to sort of blues rock a lot in your?
Blues rock, actually, not none. No. No
Right.
blues rock. Well, we all been listening to a lot of folk music when we grew up. Like our parents were a bit of folk hippies, and then we all had a period of listening to a lot of blues, a lot of like pre-war blues and gospel music. So, and then we had like a 70s funk period where we were all listening to 70s funk, and also like Dr. John with this like the voodoo part comes in there, and the meters and a lot of groove and groove-based music, because the groove gets you in sort of trance like state of mind, which is for us is also a bit of the voodoo in there. But to name a particular band,
I don't think it would justify. Yeah, I think the
can't answer
mystical,
all your questions. I'm like,
the mystical side of the band, I think, comes from old folk music and gospel and blues. Just
The roots of.
yeah, and a lot of those old folk songs have this mystical lyrics, and it's sort of a magical world. I think that side of that shamanic mystical side comes from listening to old folk music, I think.
yeah.
And then, of course, we got Sly and the Family Stone is probably the... If we were to name a band, it would be Sly and the Family Stone, but that, again, has a different
That's the
side
psychedelics and the funk
yeah.
in it. Yeah.
Cool. So it's funny because a few months ago I interviewed Emil Avier, who used to be the bass player for Seasick Steve, and now I'm meeting you, who met Seasick Steve in Vienna last year. And so how was the experience with him? I know that like he was very impressed by the rehearsal before your show in Vienna. Is that correct? And then he also introduced you as the way I did before.
Yeah.
And how was the experience with him touring the UK?
In the UK, yeah. Well, that started off there, right there in Vienna, and he already said there he wanted us to be a support. So of course, we were like very happy also that it ended up being that way, that we could really go on tour with him and he stick to the plan. And it's you get to see him play every night, like night and night in a row, and you see it's really he was already a big inspiration for us, but even more after seeing him play, because he's in his 70s, 74 or something, and every night he's giving 100% and giving all he has that night for the people, and never a show is the same. So it was a big inspiration to see that you can. Well, of course, that's also our goal and our aim to do, but then still on 74, you can still deliver that kind of energy, you know. So that was, for me, was biggest inspiration just by being able to watch him every night.
Cool. Any particular word of wisdom that stand out that you could share with us? That he told you, like some lesson you learned?
He told us to stay on the right side of the blues, which is something we kept in mind, because blues is it's tricky. There's it's a very big genre, and I think we are both a bit on the same side of the blues, and it's maybe hard to explain. I don't want to offend any other people, but let's just keep it like that. The right side of the blues.
So can we listen to some more music? What do you think?
Do you have to tune?
No, well, if we do Hidden from Time, I don't have to tune.
Oh yeah, we can do it's another one of our Shamanaid record, and it's actually this is more like a folk ballad. There's a place far beyond that is hidden from time, where the trees tell of secrets that used to be mine, like love leaves are blown, take you far, far from home, across the bay to the shore, where I long to be once more.
Beautiful. You know, it's hard to burst the bubble. That's the thing they always say with, such great songs. So talking about your records, this second record, Shamanaid, which came out this year, has a particular concept behind, right? Through the writing of the songs, with the lyrics. So how did the idea come? It's about, correct me if I'm wrong, like a baby in the future looking from something like that. I'm completely wrong. So you can.
I'm so curious.
That was a very could be an interesting interpretation.
Yeah.
But in terms of the concept, it evolves. In the studio, we write most of the time when we're recording. So then the concept sort of evolves. Although there's a process of writing that happens before you go in the studio. But
what's the process? You write the arrangements and you meet all together and just rehearse and improvise.
The beginning is the writing is very sketchy, and you go with this very simple sketch into the studio, and then you start arranging and reorganizing the material. But about Shamanaid, we heard Kato sing a word. She was like making up words because we didn't have all the lyrics there, and I heard this thing Shamanaid, which is a made-up word. But I thought it was a very interesting. It clicked, I think, with what we were looking for in terms of artistic core for the record, which was a sort of musical ritual that you experience with a shamanic ritual. The music is a big important factor with shamanic ritual to get people in a trance, and that's something what we try to do live. And Shamanaid, it's a bit of a tongue-in-cheek sort of. It's not totally serious to be taken too seriously, but it's aid from the shamans. Yeah, like it could be a magical potion instead of actual potion.
Like sort of guidance on the journey.
Yeah, more like a musical guidance, and I think that a lot of the material is delving into spirituality and music, and how they are connected.
Is there any book or author in particular that inspired you for this, like,
No, in particular.
philosophic view, sort of?
No, I don't think there's any one particular. I think it's
It's just more
Mixture
also
of-
these times, and we were just looking for what you actually want to tell people, and also what you want to tell people when you're playing live, and what kind of message you want to spread. And well, this sort of came out with us. Like our first record there were a few protest songs on that one, and it was quite critical, about these times. And we were thinking, how can we make it more like focus on the better side,
solution,
yeah,
or
and solution-wise, yeah,
or write a pro-suppressed song instead of an anti establishment song.
yeah. So then the record got a bit more spiritual than the first one, which I really liked actually. But it's not something we really like talk about up front, like what kind of record are we gonna make now. It's just the combination. Like also when you start writing one song, then the idea sometimes of another song comes out there as well. Or you make for an album, you just make things that fit
Cool.
with each other. And then the word Shamanaid popped up, and then it sort of there was the name for the whole project for us, and so that fitted very well.
Very nice. Yeah. Okay, so are we gonna play one more?
Yep.
But we
Let's hear
have
one
to
more
return
song
or not?
for the.
Can we tune? Yeah.
Okay.
Love me in your toe. Love me in
Yeah, My Baby. That was exactly the right side of the blues, I have to say. Thank you, guys. So, yeah, okay. So first off, this is all set, right? So
Yeah,
we can-
this is
okay,
it's
cool. So
if it's like this. Yeah.
okay,
it's fine.
a few more questions and off we go, right?
Yeah.
My last question is how is the scene like in Holland, especially for a genre? Because I met this band Z last summer.
Yeah.
And yeah, they said like we are the best band in the world, so I couldn't take a lot out of that. But how is the scene like there?
Well, we're the best band.
Yeah, you are the best. No.
Oh yeah, sorry. They are the best band in Holland, of course. But then, yeah. Well, Dutch scene, it's getting bigger. That's true. Like there's maybe that's a shift that's happening all around the world, and I know that. But that people are looking more at bands from their own country than only from maybe America or England. That its focus is a bit more on acts from, like, how do you say, like local acts or national acts, which is quite good, of course, for us, because well, of course, for us playing in Holland, but I think it's it may be a thing that's happening everywhere. Like that maybe first people always look abroad or look at America, and now they're like, maybe there's even some great music coming from our own country, and let's focus on that a little bit more.
I hope your tour manager Neighborshad told you about the scene in the Balkans, which is something I'm promoting very much from here.
Yeah.
They're a really great band there as well, and what you said, I think that stands out in all Europe, or at least.
Maybe it has something to do with like everything getting a bit more focused on local, and also like local products or whatever. Like but even like the mass production, people get a bit tired of everything that's offered them, or also maybe through the radio, like the big acts that offer that, and people just want to look more at what they choose themselves, like to eat or to where to go to, or which music they want to listen to. So I think it's actually a good shift, and we obviously seen some great Balkan bands when we were touring. So I think it's a good shift.
Cool.
Definitely.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having us. This is My Baby, and you're listening to Closing Time on Radio Fragola.